Hi. Today I'm going to be speaking from the heart as I walk along this river. I want to talk to you about something important. It's about the original people who lived here, the Wabanaki people. Where are they? Once they had villages all along these rivers. They lived here for thousands of years. I know where they are. They're on a 1 mile by 1 mile reservation in Pleasant Point, Maine, in a small island in Old Town, Maine. They're on the edge of the continent on the seacoast. Why? Because this is the center of their territory. Conway, New Hampshire. The valleys of Mount Ajukochuk. You see, this is the most important real estate in all of New England. Clean water, clean air, plentiful game, farmable land. So why is it that the original people who God gave them this land to live on, why are they not here? Where did they go? You might think you're smart, you can read some encyclopedias and historical documents of the towns and the state's history, but why don't you ask the survivors where the people went that were here? Why don't you go visit the reservation and ask the elders of the Passamaquoddy, what happened to the Pemigewasset? What happened to the Abenaki? What happened to the people in the interior, along the Merrimack and the Pemigewasset and the Saco? Why are they no longer here? I've been here for 6 months. 6 months. And in 6 months, I've met a total of 3 people that have indigenous blood belonging to Penobscot, Micmac, and myself, Passamaquoddy. No other group in America has been mistreated and attacked the way that the Wabanaki people were attacked. Their continent was invaded by some of my ancestors, my English ancestors. They came here fleeing Europe in the 1600s. And so, some people will say, why does he care so much about such a small thing? It's not a small thing. Do you care about your Irish ancestry? Do you care about your English ancestry? Do you care about your French, your Italian, your Greek, Lithuanian, Russian, Ukrainian? Everybody cares about their ancestry because our ancestors are who we come from. So of course we care. Everybody else in the world lives on our land, except us. Everything you see here, every tree, rock, plant, river, lake, stream, we were here first. The Wabanaki were here first. Where are the Pemigewasset? Where are the Sakos? Where are the Ossipis? Where are the Androscoggins? Where are these tribes? I'd like an answer for that. I know most of the Pemigewasset, according to history, were murdered in Plymouth, New Hampshire in Rogers Raid. That's historical fact. But there had to be some survivors that escaped and went north, fleeing. This has bothered me my whole life. And another thing that bothers me is why nobody else cares. You like to sell all kinds of paintings with us in feathers on horses, with bows and arrows, in your art. You say that you respect our way of life. You admire how we lived without money. We lived here for 18,000 years. You admire that way of life that we lived, but you don't let us live it now. If I one day just decided, okay, that's it, I had enough of European society, and I'm gonna gather up some supplies and I'm gonna come live alongside the river the way my ancestors did, that should be my choice. It's my land. I inherited it from my ancestors. But no, it's not possible. Not in this time. Within a week, the state agencies would be evicting me, threatening to arrest me. Why? Why do they care? If Native people want to go live off the land like their ancestors did, why do they care? I'll tell you why they care. Because they can't tax us. They can't use us as slaves in their society to generate money. Because when we live in the system and we have cars and we have land and we have houses and we pay taxes and registrations and fees, and we buy food from the grocery store and bottles of water, and when we do these ridiculous things, we generate money for the system. What is the system? The system is a multi-generational banking cartel that's ruled society in Europe for thousands of years. And Europeans fled to America thinking they could create a better system and be free from the European central banking system. But as we see now, we're not. We're suffering just like everyone in Europe did 500 years ago. So we came here as Europeans thinking that we were going to change things for the better. And that didn't happen. What's the difference between modern day England and the United States? You live under the same system. So, could I go live up in Sabayak on the Pleasant Point Passamaquoddy Reservation on a 1 mile by 1 mile reservation? Sure, I probably could. But I don't want to. Why would I want to? This is our holy land. This is the most important territory that we have. We have the mountains, we have the lakes, we have the rivers, we have plentiful game if we needed it. We have turkey, we have deer, we have moose. We have everything that we could want here. So why would anybody want to live on a reservation? I've been there many times. And I see exactly what it is. It's an open air prison. If the state of Maine could get away with it, they would kill every last person on that reservation and make it into a state park. Because they don't care about us. We're just an inconvenient truth. Why does the state of New Hampshire not want any Native American community within its borders? Why? Because when it comes down, whose land is this? It's our land. This is my land. I inherited it from my ancestors. This land, every surviving Wabanaki person, Mi'kmaq, Maliseet, Passamaquoddy, Penobscot, who's surviving of the Abenaki, Nipmuc, Wampanoag, this is your land. This is your river. So why do we want to live on a reservation? I don't know anyone who does. And so if you want to know what I want from my people, in my opinion, I don't think that we want anything from the government. If anything, we want to be left alone by the government. If anything, we should say to the state, hey, who did you purchase these mountains from? Who did you purchase the banks of the river from? Oh, that's right, you didn't pay for that. You murdered men, women, and children. You murdered entire villages of people and just took what you wanted. So, if anything I have to ask from the state, it would be, let us choose a couple mountains, a couple spots along the rivers that we want to live and set up our community, and leave us alone. Let us live the way our ancestors lived. And leave us alone. If we want to be a part of your system, it's our choice. We can go get a job and pay taxes and drive cars and live in whatever you call that system. But if we think our way of life, the way the Creator intended us to live, the way our ancestors were living here off the land, if we think that that's better for us, then let us be. Leave us alone. As Max Igan said, you can't own the earth owns you. We lived here from before there was even recorded history. We lived here from the Ice Age. And a government came here from Europe and stole everything we had. We have a 1 mile by 1 mile reservation in Maine. How does that make any sense? This is where we lived. This was our land. How'd we get a 1 mile by 1 mile reservation? And how did anybody think that that was fair? Every other group in this country has somebody who sticks up for them. Who sticks up for us? Here we are struggling to survive. Look what you took from us. Or so you thought you took it from us, but you didn't. Because I still stand on my ancestral lands. I'm not on the reservation. I'm here in the valley of Mount Adyukochuk. The most valuable part, in my opinion, of all of my ancestors' lands. And so, yeah, maybe I've only seen 2 or 3 other indigenous people here. Passamaquoddy, Micmac, one Penobscot guy. I'm glad they're here. We might be few, but at least we're not alone. And to anybody who's watching this who has native blood, even if you only had one ancestor a few centuries ago that was indigenous, come here. It's a great place to live. Why does anybody think that we should be living on reservations? That just means you think that we should be controlled. I will not be controlled. I will not be caged. I will live free the way the Creator intended me to live. Nobody ever sold this land to anybody. It was taken. I don't care about what papers and governments and monetary systems think that they own it. They don't own shit. We are the rightful owners, appointed by God, the Great Spirit, the Creator. He put us here first. We were here before anyone else, and we remain. Thank you.